was fun. My favorite game? Ooh, that's a hard question. I've never really been able to say what my favorite game is. I can only really say which games are often in like the top 3. And the only one I've ever really consistently been able to say like is in my top 3 or top 5 has honestly like probably always been Metal Gear Solid 3. But like, I don't know, I'm kind of bad at like remembering all the things I like when someone asks me. I almost feel like I would have to like take a day to think about it. And like look at my game collection and look at the games that I've played and just be like, alright, hold on, I'll get back to you and I'll make a list. A list in no particular order. F-Zero GX on GameCube. That is another one of my like top 3 games of all time. Alright, let's call this a top. So yeah, my top 5 is at least definitely Metal Gear Solid 3 and F-Zero GX. It's kind of also hard, if I'm honest, not to put like, I don't know, I say that I like Galaxy more than 64, but I feel like Mario 64 is like beyond just a game for me. Like, just the music, the sounds, the textures, everything just is so, I hesitate to use the word iconic, but like, honestly, this is kind of one of the best places to use it, I think. Oh. It's really hard to say. I'm gonna have to maybe reapproach this discussion after I've played through Sunshine and Galaxy 1 and 2 again. Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. Specifically 2. Those, at least 2 is definitely on my, like, top 5. I would say Metroid Prime 1 and 3 would also be in, like, my top 10 easy. We can count the trilogy as one game since it was a single game on the Wii. You know, it's funny because I've actually met people who played it and were just like, oh, let's see what the fuss is all about. And it's like, those same people actually were able to levy like some pretty honest criticisms to the game, and I'm like, that's true. And yeah, I did kind of forget just how whack this particular boss fight's design was, or like how kind of, if you don't know about it, how are you expect— no, like there's definitely a few things where it's like, going back and replaying the game, it's not an issue, but like surprisingly kind of an issue for a lot of first-time players. Like, I can't really think of anything super specific, but like, I just specifically remember, like, what, a year or two ago? Probably a good 2-3 years ago, I watched a friend do a first-time playthrough of Metroid Prime 1, and like, I was genuinely surprised at all of the criticisms and like, not lack of enjoyment, but just like, extremely underwhelmed reaction that this person had to the game, and all like the criticisms, which I couldn't even really argue with for the most part because they were all pretty valid. And it's like, at the same time, I genuinely do hold the game in pretty much the same regard as like one of the closest to perfect games out there, for me personally. Honestly, I really like games that are in first person, just in general. And I think more genres could really benefit from just taking what is their current genre and literally just doing like a Metroid Prime with them. Probably not a lot of series, but there's definitely a number of series that probably could. Can you imagine those MFs that have Phantom Sense playing a first-person fighting game and actually feeling like they actually just got hit by a fucking Hadouken from Ryu? Though I assume that's probably not quite... I don't know, like... I'm honestly not sure if I have phantom sense or not. Because, like, I definitely do get some kind of sensation from, like, just trying to touch my own hand in 3D. Or, I mean, in VR. But, like, it's not, like, super intense or anything. And I know it's not... I know it's, like, a distinctly different feeling. Oh yeah, Halo 3 ODST. That's another game that I could absolutely, with very little hesitation, put on, like, my list of favorite games of all time. True! I can't wait to hop in VR with my ballistic sensation vest. The Ballistics Sense VR vest. For the true feeling of getting shot in the heart. Or in the gut. Let's see. What are some other series that we all find truly beloved that are probably dead forever in the hands of the people who currently own them? I really like Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. I like games where I can go fast, and it feels good. I like Halo games. I really like Halo games. Both for the gameplay and the story. I like fighting games a lot. I'm not good at them, but I really like them. I think, Street Fighter, I almost said Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter Third Strike is a very good game. Street Fighter Third Strike is genuinely one of my favorite games as well. Like, bruh, the music, sprite work, the roster, I fucking love that game. I am absolutely dog at it, but I do love it. Another fighting game I really like is the old JoJo arcade fighting game. That is a really cool game. Another fighting game I really love is pre-Lumina Melty Blood. That's not me saying I don't like Lumina, I just have not played it. But I will say this about Type Lumina. I don't think they represented my favorite character in a way that I like. That is me being as nice as possible in saying they fucked up my favorite character. If you're wondering who that character is, Red Arcade. And if I tell you my favorite characters in a few of these fighting games, I think you'll start to understand I have a type. And that type is interesting clone characters. Honestly, this might be like a whack-ass take, but I love it when any kind of fighting game, or any kind of game with multiple characters that have like individual movesets, experiments with clone characters. Just like, take an existing moveset and put a funny little spin on it. Make it so that like the same familiar moves have like different properties, make them heavier or lighter or quicker or whatever you gotta do. I love that kind of shit. Fuck it, reuse the animations. I want to see those cool ass animations again. Show me the same old animations and tell me that they do something different and I'll be hooked. If we're talking Captain Falcon and Ganondorf, that is my shit. What? Oh! 100%. Honestly, characters like Dark Pit are really disappointing. They could have gone so all out on like making all of his moves be like contrary to Pit's just out of spite. And instead they're just like literally the same. Different side B, literally the same otherwise. His down tilt has a slightly different launch angle. And his side B is different. Oh, and his arrows, of course. Fuck Fire Emblem Fates! That game sucks! That game is trash! It belongs in the trash with all the garbage! Corrin is... while having a good design may count for something, It clearly doesn't count for enough in this motherfucker's case. Or, sorry, I meant sister fucker, my bad. It gets a little confusing. But it won't be the first time you get confused when you play that game. And it definitely won't be the last. I love the part of Fire Emblem Fates where, Corrin is like, oh shit, you're my mom? Oh shit, you're dead! Ah! And turns into a dragon, and then finds the Chosen One's sword in a random statue that just happened to break in that encounter. And basically becomes the Chosen One in that moment. But yeah, no, here's your magic sword that will be the MacGuffin to lead you to victory! It's very much contrived, yes. And then, of course, there's the actual individual character's actions through the story, which pretty much boil down to about what you would expect from a character that's been sheltered in a tower being raised as royalty their entire life. It's kind of bleak, if I'm honest. And then, of course, there's the fact that they were like, hey, so, Awakening had, like, a past and future time plot, and, like, the characters had children, and you meet the children in the game, because, like, they came from the future, and, the fans really like that. The fans really, really fucking like that they could have, like, their two favorite characters bang, and then, like, a new character is formed with, like, the hair color of one of them and the lineage of the other. So, we gotta do that again. And then the other guy goes, but, sir, that this game's story isn't about time travel. To which whoever was in charge of this said, tough shit, I don't care. Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain. And they did. Oh, they made it happen. And it was not great. They introduced the time-dilated dragon realms, where I guess they just spent like 20 or something years raising each of their children in the middle of this war. And, like, I guess in the real world kingdom, only, like, a few years pass? Or, like, they just don't raise their children in the baby dimension? Their children just raise themselves in the baby dimension? I really don't know. It's kind of up in the air, if I'm honest. Like, do they have, like, retainers who raise them in those dimensions? Like, I don't know. I know what's-his-face, the butler guy, his son, kind of resented him for not really being present for his life, I'm pretty sure, so I guess there's that. But the problem with that is, no matter what the excuse is, it's fucking bad! And let's see, Birthright is probably one of the worst Fire Emblem games, mechanically and just functionally, that exist. I'm told Conquest, like, on a purely map design gameplay level, is actually a pretty good game. Revelation is somehow an even worse pile of garbage than Birthright, and I think that's very funny that they managed to pull that off. Yeah, exactly, like, good luck surviving infancy. Hey, you, maid, or retainer that we have otherwise paid to raise our child in some other dimension, go over there and raise our children for us while we're out here. We'll see you in a week. What do you mean in a week? Yeah, I'll see you in a week. Oh, okay. 20 years in that dimension later. Hey, so, are our kids all full grown yet? Yeah, no, they're all ready to go. Next time you see the person who raised the kid, they're 20 years older. And then, of course, there's the implication of, so you're telling me you all had children and used a time-dilated alternate dimension to essentially just shortcut them to adulthood so they can also fight in your war? Oh. That's kind of fucked up, isn't it? To make a long story short, it's a really crying shame that there's so many good character designs trapped in an otherwise absolutely atrocious video game. Kind of how I feel about Genshin Impact as well. it's really so sad that kind of a few really banger character designs are stuck in such a horrible game. So yeah, that's how I feel about Fire Emblem Fates. Sucks. The game is bad. You can't have fun with the game because the game is bad. No, obviously, it's more than possible to play the game and have fun. I've known plenty of people who have. Even people who played Birthright. But, I can't help but feel like, objectively, that is one of the worst instances of multiple incidences of writing that I've seen in a piece of media in my life. Raising an army. Oh no! I've never played any of the Ike games. Any two of them. I would like to in the future though. Only heard good things. I'll admit, my Fire Emblem experience is pretty much just I played Fates. I was like, oh, this sucks. And then, I played Three Houses, and I was like, oh, that was a pretty fun game. And I had plans to play through all the routes, and then I kind of burnt out / stopped caring after I did the one. And kind of got a little bit ways through the second. Actually, no, I did do the Ashen Wolves path. Like the DLC one. That was pretty cool too. The one that I did do, the actual one of the main 3, 4, technically, is I did Blue Lions. I thought it was pretty epic. Pretty good. I like it. Pretty good.